In this cybersecurity awareness month, I'm going to talk about security versus privacy. When it comes to data privacy versus data security, we can frequently hear or read those terms being used interchangeably. However, are these indeed synonyms or do they denote slightly different concepts? We will briefly touch on both their similarities and differences in this video. We will also see how one of them cannot exist without the other. Now let's talk about what is data privacy. Data privacy or information privacy is concerned with proper handling, processing, storage, and uses of personal information. It is all about the rights of individuals with respect to their personal information. The most common concerns regarding data privacy are managing contracts or policies, applying governing regulation or law like GDPR, third party management, data removal, etc. Privacy in general is an individual's right to freedom from intrusion and prying eyes, or the right of the person to be left alone. It is guaranteed under the Constitution in many developed countries, which makes it a fundamental human right and one of the core principles of human dignity. Idea most people will agree about. Any risk assessment conducted for the purpose of enhancing the privacy of individuals' personal data is performed from the perspective of protecting the rights and freedoms of those individuals. Now the question comes, what is data security? Data security is focused on protecting personal data from any unauthorized third-party access or malicious attacks and exploitation of data. It is set up to protect personal data using different methods and techniques to ensure data privacy. Data security means the integrity of the data, meaning data is accurate, reliable, and available to authorized parties. Its methods, practices, and processes can include activity monitoring, network security, access control, breach response, encryption, and multi-factor authentication. Let's talk about the similarities and differences between them. In short, data privacy and data security are by no means the same terms. Data privacy is about proper uses, collection, retention, deletion, and storage of data. Data security is policies, methods, and means to secure personal data. So if you are using a Google Gmail account, your password would be a method of data security, while the way Google uses your data to administer your account would be data privacy. Think for example of a window on a building. Without it being in place, an intruder can sneak in and violate both the privacy and security of the occupants. Once the window is mounted, it will perform a pretty decent job in keeping unwanted parties from getting into the building. It will, however, not prevent them from peeking in, interfering thus with the occupant's privacy. At least not with a curtain. In this example, the window is a security control while the curtain is privacy control. The former can exist without the latter, but not vice versa. Data security is a prerequisite for data privacy, and information security is the main prerequisite to data privacy. Now let's see how we can build data privacy and data security plans. Concerns and losses of personal information and sensitive data can lead to business interruption, significant reputational damage, and regulatory penalties. Organization can check unforeseen business interruptions by deploying good security practices and conforming to the associated privacy requirements. Let's see how you can develop a data privacy plan. As the value and volume of data are growing exponentially, data privacy has emerged as a broad level issue and a significant source of competitive advantage, apart from being a compliance requirement. A robust data privacy plan needs both internal and external policy. While the internal policy defines what the company and the employees can do with that information, the external policy informs clients, customers, and shareholders about what kind of data the organization is collecting and why. The first step in your developing a data privacy plan is drafting the internal policy. The organization should first thoroughly gather information about what the data they need to collect. Next, draft an organization level comprehensive policy that outlines what kind of data is being collected, who is responsible for executing the policy, and the related information of the actual data laws to keep every employee on the same page. Then take stock of all the collected data and develop a comprehensive inventory, identify data owners or who have access to the data and monitor the flow of data. The second step is draft the external policy. First, organizations should identify all the laws and regulations pertaining to their business and location. A general legal advisor who specializes in your industry can help you with it. Frame a privacy message that outlines what data the organization is collecting and why, on par with the legal requirements. Copying from the privacy firms of other companies in your industry can be a good start. But work with your legal advisor to ensure that your privacy statements are on par with your organization's practices. The final step will be executing these policies. Organization needs a multi-pronged approach to broadcast and execute the internal and external privacy policy. The internal privacy policy should be made accessible to all the relevant employees, and the employees must be trained on the new policies. The developers should deploy the new privacy changes throughout the system. The external privacy policy should be displayed on the website, a mobile app, paper form, or wherever the customers and clients can see it. Now let's talk about how you can develop a data security plan. A comprehensive data security plan should help the organization address the growing challenges inherent in securing today's complex computing environment. It includes understanding where the data is stored, tracking who has the access to it, and preventing malicious activities and suspicious file movements. A data protection plan that enables enterprises to tackle structured as well as unstructured data can simplify the task. The first step in this will be making someone responsible for data security. Organizations should employ a chief data officer or designated information security professional to oversee their data processes and compliance and ensure that training is updated and offered regularly to the employees. The second step will be identifying data security vulnerabilities. Organizations need to set up systems to access their data security vulnerabilities and address them before cyber criminals use the flaws as an entry point into the system. Three basic steps to identify vulnerabilities in data security are penetration test, auditing, and software solutions. The final step will be securing data. The organization's plan to secure data should take both the structured and unstructured data into account. Securing structured data starts with creating secure central storage for data, tracking data entry and uses, implementing multi-factor authentication and single sign-on policies, protecting devices with secure passwords, and training employees. Moreover, train and educate employees about the risk of USB drives, sensitive information written on paper, and mobile phone and videos. Now let's talk about privacy and security with respect to cybersecurity. When it comes to cybersecurity, we can agree that it refers to protective measures that we can put in place to protect our digital assets from harmful events such as human and technical errors, malicious individuals, and unauthorized users. However, for the sake of completeness, we have to admit that even in this day and age, not all information is digital. We still deal with numerous paper documents, which in turn hold very valuable information worth protecting. This is exactly where the term information security comes in handy, denoting the practice of preventing unauthorized access, use, disclosure, modification, or destruction of information in whatever form. The three pillars of information security are confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These are very often referred to as CIA trade, and they all have to be addressed in order to achieve a satisfactory level of information security. Like many things in life where nothing is perfect, the same goes for security. There is no such thing as a 100% secure system. There are only acceptable levels of risk. This means that in order to secure information, an organization must first conduct a formal risk assessment. The risk assessment will then be cross-referenced with the organization's risk acceptance criteria, and consequently a risk treatment plan can be deployed. Only then security controls will be chosen with the aim to mitigate specific residual risk. In information security, this is known as a risk-based approach to security. When you think about it, it makes sense. It would be very difficult to justify spending lakhs of rupees to protect an asset that only cost you in thousands.